Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today's presentation is for my syntax final exam project. Let's start with the first part. Before we start, please take a look at the content table. Now, let's move on to the next slide. What is deep structure? According to Prasad in Murni, deep structure is the abstract framework that allows a native speaker to comprehend the meaning of a sentence. In deep structure, the true meaning of what we want to convey is kept in people's conscious. Here are the examples. The first example, Nelson reads a novel. This utterance indicates an action of reading by an individual named Nelson. The second example, the dog catches the ball. This sentence denotes an action of catching by a dog. Now, let's move on to the next slide. Now, let's discuss about surface structure. In contrast to deep structure, surface structure is the written or spoken sentence that is constructed based on the deep structure. According to Wingfield and Teton in Ratner et al., the surface structure of a sentence consists of the words that we hear speak. These are the specific words selected to convey the intended meaning of the addressor. Here are the examples. Sarah paints the wall. This is the deep structure. This deep structure can be constructed into many kinds of surface structure. For example, Sarah paints the wall, which is the same as the deep structure. The other method is using the passive sentence. The wall is painted by Sarah. Or we can use another form such as present continuous. Sarah is painting the wall. Now that we have finished the first part, let's move on to the second part. Now let's begin the second part. In this second part, we are going to discuss the deep structure of the every sentence in these study cases. Before we start, please take a look at the content table. Now, let's begin with the first case. The first case, we are going to discuss about the deep structure in the sentence. This sentence is in the form of utterance. This utterance indicates an action of jumping by an entity, which is a fox, over another entity, which is a lazy dog. Now, let's move on to the second case. The second case is also in the form of utterance. The girl who is wearing a red dress is dancing. This utterance indicates an action of dancing by an individual, which is a girl who is wearing a red dress. To understand this utterance, we need a context which is at the party or maybe at another social event. Now, let's move on to the third case. Now, let's discuss the third case. The sentence meaning in the third case is kind of ambiguous. As you can see, this sentence indicates the action of seeing from an individual named Stefano. The medium that Stefano used to solve the object is a telescope. But the object that Stefano saw is kind of ambiguous because we don't know if the Yehezkala is the name of the girl are a type of holy book just like Bible and Quran. So, I have a recommendation. My recommendation is to erase the determiner, the, so we only have Yehezkiah, which is a name of a girl. Now, let's move on to the fourth case. As you can see, the utterance in the fourth case consists of a main clause and a subordinate clause. From the diagram, we can conclude that the main clause indicates the mental state of believing from a girl or maybe a woman. Mark it with the pronoun she. On the other hand, the subordinate clause indicates a fact, which is the earth is round. Now, let's move on to the final case. As we can see from the sentence, and also from the diagram, we can conclude that the narrator states the condition of his previous house that has been demolished. Thank you all for your attention, and I hope you enjoy it. Have a good day. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.